on the back of Virgil getting the winner. I don't know whether anyone in the crowd understood what was going on, but there was a lot of commotion on that Atleti Madrid bench. You then see that Diego Simeone is basically facing up a fan in the stands. You've got about 10 to 15 stewards trying to stop him. And John, he just loses his head.
I mean, I must admit, I hadn't taken a great deal of notice of it, really, because I was too busy jumping up and down and, celebrating the goal. But it's always likely with Simeone, isn't it? And it's just very volatile, and he can't keep his emotions in check. So I have no idea what happened. I know he got a red card. I don't know what he actually did to warrant a red card. And it all kicked off, but, who knows? I don't know.
I think it's a cursed chalice, if that's the phrase, with Simeone, because Atletico have been as successful as they have been over the last 10, 15 years because of the passion and the way that his teams are almost an embodiment of him on the pitch. But at the same time, it can boil over, and it then comes almost as a detriment to the team. Obviously, they didn't concede last night because they were too passionate or anything, but I think it's like we see with Arteta and Arsenal sometimes. When everything is so important, it can be hard to sustain things. And last night we saw it boil over after Van Dijk's goal. And to be fair to Simeone, in the post-match press conference, he was saying, look, I'm only human. I was taking insults for 90 minutes. And he does raise a good point about how footballers and coaches are almost dehumanised by some supporters. Mm-hmm. And I've no doubt that Simeone was getting stick for 90 minutes. But at the same time, if there's one person in world football who can't really, who's pot calling the kettle black, it's probably Simeone. And when he's willing to go and give it to the crowd as well, I don't think he can be then kicking off at someone who's giving it back to him. The
thing is that in football, look, I've got no idea what the lad said to him. And if it's something, really bad, then of course that will need to be looked at.
It's not a good look after the other incident with Simeone, is it, from the same side of the ground?
It's really not. But at the same time, if it's just the usual, like inner ground, how many times have you seen some fella put two fingers up to the opposition?
It feels like that's what it was, and Simeone just lost his rag at the end.
And look, they'd worked so hard.
He did say, I shouldn't have done it. So, he's acknowledged that he shouldn't have reacted in the way he did.
But it's, and look, we all get heated. And Jurgen Klopp was one of them who was so passionate about things, and they've just came from 2-0 down at Anfield, made it 2-2, and they've once again, they've just sadly been Liverpool and conceded in the last minute of the game with a Virgil Van Dijk header. Of course you're going to be absolutely furious. And it's the fact that he goes once. He gets told to go away, but he comes back for a second time, and you know what? It's cinema, and it's like, of course it's doing something. I'm fine with it.
They've just conceded a goal which is probably going to lose them the game.
Should you not be focusing on
he should be focusing the other way, shouldn't he, rather than into the crowd?
He should. And obviously since last night a new clip has came out, Sam, and this is the part where it's not fun and games, it's not a laugh. It appears that a backroom staff member of Atleti Madrid runs over as everything's going on and spits towards the Liverpool fans and then quickly gets off. If that's actually happened, surely something's got to be done about that.
I mean, what I was talking about before, of course Simeone hasn't been the one to spit, but that club is so passionate and so kind of embroiled in their emotions in the game, then it's almost no surprise that it boils over like that sometimes. Obviously, you could never justify spitting at someone, because
players get banned for that.
For someone to do that is bizarre to me.
It's vile more than anything. It's absolutely
like, what goes
vile
through your head to do that? Surely you'd shout abuse rather than do that. Not that either are good, but something's got to be looked into now, because it's on the video that he has allegedly spit at a supporter, and if a supporter was to do that the other way, they'd be banned.
Yeah.
So
We'll see what happens. Obviously, we don't know the ins and outs. We don't know what was said. We're just assuming from the videos and things that we've seen that the Liverpool fans are just trying to get in his head, basically. And you know, this is just what happens in football, guys. Like, you see it
they're
week in,
easy
week
to
out.
goad, aren't they, to be honest?
Yeah.
I mean, you just have to light the touch paper and you know they're going to blow at some point.
Yeah, but that did happen. It'll be interesting to see. And look, like you mentioned there, Simeone's came out and said, I hold my hands up, shouldn't have done it, and fair play to him. And actually, I can understand why you're angry, mate. Like, Liverpool have just got a last minute winner after you've came from the brink 2-0 down.
We all like to see a bit of emotion in the modern game because too much of it is just sterilised.
And if it had just finished with that, I think everyone parts the ways and goes, well, we've riled him up. He's, with everything that's gone on with conceding the late winner, if they don't concede the late winner, he probably turns around to our fans, smiles and walks off. Like, he doesn't get involved in anything like that. And if anything, he probably gives a little thing to the Liverpool fans saying, you've done my head in for 90 minutes. Take a point home when you were 2-0. Like, that's fine. I'm absolutely sound with that. It's then when a backroom staff member apparently comes over and allegedly spits in the direction of the fans. That's when you get out of control, because we can't allow that to be a thing in football. But what I will say is, it was interesting being in the ground and not having a clue what was going on.
It happens so often, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's also, I didn't have a clue. I didn't know. We were singing the Virgil Van Dijk song because we just didn't know what had quite happened.
Well, on the telly, we'd scored and you're going mad, and then it just cuts to Simeone basically like pushing stewards out of the way. It looked at first like he was fighting a steward. He was that intent on getting towards the
I'm fine with it. In terms of like him giving a bit back, like, I'm fine with it. You shouldn't, because you're a manager, but also if people are saying stuff to him for 90 minutes, I'm fine for him to have a little go back. I'm fine. And I'd have been fine with him if he'd have turned around at full time if it was 2-2 and said something.
We'll all forget about it.
Yeah.
No one's offended by it.
He's the only one who's going to suffer, because
he's now
people
banned.
won't let him forget it, because it just adds another little thing to a weight to his reputation, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I didn't even know he'd been sent off, by the way, because it took him so long to leave the pitch.
His response, actually, he was asked in his press conference, what did the referee say to you? Why were you sent off? And he just said no, took his headphones off and walked off.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Love that.
So we'll never know.
He's some character, isn't he? But yeah, absolutely mad, bizarre part of the game there.
That was a clip from the Final Word show. If you'd like to check out the full show, head on over to redmenplus.com.